Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 6415 Northeast Pacific Street here in Portland. Located up on the rooftop. We're going down through a 3-inch cast iron vent. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running. We're going to zero out at the base of the vent stack. And just as a little bit of a preface to this, I've got a pretty nasty light glare on my screen right now. I'm even shading everything and it's still hard to see right now. Just more than anything, kind of fine detail stuff might be hard to see once we get in here. So there may be something I catch reviewing the video at home in better lighting that I don't see right now. Alright, here's the base of the stack. We're going to zero out here. Off we go. I think before we get underway, we're going to clean some gunk off the lens, cobwebs. All right, transitioning here, it looks like into concrete pipe. Looks like we've got some root penetration here. I think we had one at the transition joint as well as the joint immediately after that. And I saw a patch in the road with a curb marker right next to it, so my assumption here is that the pipe in the street has been updated at this point. Yep, there it is. Here's our 3034 PVC. May also have a root going to the transition joint too. That concrete is not in good shape, unfortunately. Alright, there's our main there at 72 feet. And what we're going to do here, just to kill two birds with one stone, just being that we're up on the rooftop, it's a little awkward here. We're going to pull back to the transition joint. Generally speaking, that transition is going to be at the face of the curb. That'll verify the street we're going out to and let us mark the end of the concrete pipe. Yeah, it feels like you get a root here at the end. I've got a lot of water going right now. We'll get a clearer picture of things when we come out here in a moment, once it's all drained off. Alright, locating the camera head right at the face of the curb, like I expected. If you stand out in the street and face the front of the house, that's how I describe everything in general. Just to the right of the driveway, your first tree, you come to your first curb tree. Right in front of that's a green marker, or plastic marker in the curb. The tree is making it a little bit difficult to get right on top of the spot there like I want to. I'm getting between 6 and 7 feet deep. I should get a little better locate. Yeah, you got roots right up to the curb. There's a tree planted directly on top of the transition joint. That's the last place in the world you want a tree. Transition joints, whether they are old pipe or new pipe, are infinitely weaker joints to roots than any other joint in your line. All right, there may actually be a rock. All right, so where we are currently is right where the front yard meets the sidewalk edge. Getting 6 foot 4 inches deep here. And without getting a good locate, that end spot there, I think the line might be running at a little bit of an angle here. It's kind of hard to say. Let's see if... It felt like the line was making a turn right here, but there's so many roots, that may be what I'm feeling. Anyway, that arrow there right where the sidewalk meets the curb, it shows the line running dead straight towards the curb. We'll see here if we make any turns as we come back in. But yeah, about 6 foot 4 inches deep there at the sidewalk edge, which means that once you get to the curb, you're going to be right around the 7 foot deep mark. Yeah, this line is haggard. It is done. It is blasted with roots. All right, they ran that cast iron way the heck out there in this circumstance. Normally, this stuff stops about 5 feet outside the foundation. In this case, it's about 20 feet away from the home, which generally speaking is a good thing. Usually cast iron holds up much better than concrete and clay pipe, which we would generally be seeing through the area we're going through right now. About 5 foot 7 inches deep there at the transition. You'll see a white T marking at the transition joint. And this part of the line here, I'm going to have to do a little bit of reviewing, but so far the cast iron here looks like it's held up reasonably well. All right, and I did put a marking down here at the clean out. 2 reasons. One, so you know where the clean out's at. Second reason, after 25,000 sewer scopes at this point in my career and been a part of a lot of repairs, my 2 cents, if you're going to be updating an old sewer line, I mean, obviously the concrete pipe is the stuff that needs fixing. It is a hugely wasted opportunity, especially a line that's by and large just under grass and dirt and relatively shallow, to not just update the entire thing back to the foundation wall. Now I'm going to do some reviewing. The cast iron, for the most part, though, there looks like it drains well and is in pretty fair condition for its age. It's a cost-effective thing. If you're already trenching up the front yard, it's just the time to do it. That's my 2 cents on that. I was getting around 3 foot 10 inches deep there at the clean out. You'll see a C/O about 3-4 feet to the right of the front doorway, kind of near where the hose bib is at. That's where the clean out access is. Trickier one to hunt down on this house. Hence the roof vent. But anyway, after any repairs are done, make sure a rescope is performed to check the work. I'll do a little reviewing. We start out in a 3-inch vent. We may very well be in 4-inch concrete in this scenario. I think it's 6-inch though. Just be aware of that. I don't have a nice clean out to go off of to start from. Anyway, I recommend it at the very minimum the concrete pipe be updated. Again, I'll check the video at home for any issues that may be going on with the cast iron, but more than anything, it's just a sensible time to do it, so you're not having to update that stuff down the road. Sometimes cast iron holds up a long time, but it's the right time to update these things all at once. I'd feel differently about it if the cast iron were under a driveway. That would make sense to just let it be for a while, but in a case like this, when you've got a machine out here, or you could potentially epoxy line this thing, we'll see how well it drains off when I review the video at home, if it's got good enough slope and grade to line it. But being that it's, other than a sidewalk, basically under just dirt and landscaping, this is just an opportune moment to do that. If you have a machine out here, it does not take that much extra effort to dig up the rest of that and update it. So After any repairs are done, make sure a rescope is performed to check the work. If you're doing a dig style repair, you got to make sure that rescope is taking place after the trench is closed, or you're not going to catch any settling problems that occur. And if you did something like a trenchless update, still worth scoping it to make sure everything's cured up properly and looks good.